Happy Thursday. Happy Therapy Thursday. Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to Transforming Trauma with yours truly, Dr. Triphi. Okay, y'all. So every Thursday night when I come here and I introduce the podcast, I say something like this. I am a licensed psychologist in the state of Georgia. I'm a Georgian, I'm an American, but clearly you can hear from my accent that I'm from somewhere else. Hmm? I like to tell you that I'm from the tiny Caribbean island of Dominica, not to be confused with the Dominican Republic. We love the Dominican Republic, but they're a completely different country. They're further north, they're up north, and we are south between Guadeloupe and Martinique. Want to know why I'm saying that? Extra special tonight? Well, this this past Saturday, this past weekend, Dominica, again, not to be confused with the Dominican Republic, Dominica became the first, Dominica produced its first Olympic medalist. Her name is Miss Thea Lafont Gatson. To make it even sweeter, Miss Gatson brought home a gold medal to Dominica in the triple jump. So, suffice it to say, Dominica people are excited. All over the world, we're excited. And on a high, we're so proud of Miss Thea Lafont. And we're telling everybody and their grandmother who's going to listen that Dominica is not the Dominican Republic. I actually saw, I actually saw an article from an NBC, no, a Fox News affiliate in Wilmington, probably Delaware or North Carolina, that made a mistake. So Fox News Wilmington, if you're listening to me, Thea Lafont is from Dominica, not the Dominican Republic. Okay, y'all. Clap, 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 clap. Tonight, I'm talking about change, how to change a bad situation. I'm talking about change because if you want to succeed, if you want success, prepare to change. And if you want big success, prepare to change in big ways. I'm going to use Thea's example to show you something. So Thea was born in Dominica, but her family moved to the US. And so she was actually a dancer before she started jumping. When she learned to jump, she says, as a teenager, she would jump off of her right leg, thinking she was better there, right? She was stronger there. In 2016, she met her coach, who's also now her husband, and he advised her to try a different leg. And guess what? Guess who just won a gold medal? Yeah, she's been good, but guess who had to start from scratch again, essentially? Because if you've been jumping for all of your life on one leg, like leading off of one leg, and now you have to learn how to do it the opposite way. She says it was so frustrating at times because it felt as if she was just starting to jump again. But look at the results. Look at the results. Change is inevitable, even if you're not trying to create success. Life is going to change. Change is a constant thing. But we want to understand how the change happens. We want to be able to identify what we did to get the gold medal. We don't want it to just be, well, it just so happened that I won the gold medal. We want to know that I switched my jumping off leg and that catapulted me into a stratosphere of success I used to only dream about. Okay? So, success, the way success happens, can be much smoother and we can be much more successful if we teach ourselves how to change. How to change. Tonight, I thought I would look at what is called the stages of change model because I'm using Thea's example. Imagine you meet somebody that you like, that they're good, you know they got a good history and background because clearly they're a coach, so they must know some things, but they're coming to you with something that feels completely foreign about how to become better. Do you think she had ever contemplated jumping off a different leg? She says no. So, I want to talk to you about those stages of change that she, that you, that I, that we have to go through, we have to experience to be able to get to the other side. So, for you, whether you're aiming to adopt a healthier lifestyle, you want to break a bad habit, or you want to achieve a new goal, like win a gold medal, recognizing where you are in this process is going to help you move forward with more confidence. There's a big word for that stages of change model. It's called trans theoretical. Yeah? It was developed by Prochaska, James Prochaska, and Carlo Di Clemente in the 1970s and in the early 80s. So it's been around for a long time. Okay, Prochaska was a psychologist, is a psychologist and professor at the University of Rhode Island. And Di Clemente was his colleague and a prominent researcher in behavioral change. Behavioral change. How do I get myself to do something different to get the results I'm really looking for? So, their research actually initially focused on smoking cessation. What is that? Smoking cessation is stopping smoking. If you're a smoker, if you have a habit of smoking, yeah, their research focused on that. But since then, it's been applied to a variety of behaviors, including addictions, including almost any behavior that you're trying to change. Okay, so let's talk about the stages that Prochaska and Di Clemente came up with. The model identifies 6 different stages of change, and it's a way we can measure and assess our progress when we're working on any goal, on anything. The first one is called pre-contemplation. Then you've got contemplation. Then you've got preparation. You still haven't even made the real leap yet. Then you have action. And after action, you've got a stage called maintenance. After maintenance, you've got termination. These days, we add a stage called relapse. I'll talk about that, okay? We'll talk about that. So let's talk about the stages. So here's Thea Lafont meets this wonderful man who suggests to her that she needs to try jumping off, leading her jump from a different leg. What stage is she in when it comes to her big goal of obtaining a gold medal? It's pre-contemplation, isn't it? Ignorance is bliss. You know, what you don't know, a lot of us, we think it's not going to hurt us. Yeah, what the heart doesn't know doesn't hurt the heart. We have a Creole phrase in Dominica, sa chela pa koneti, sa zie pa voy pa ka fe che mal. So what I don't know, you know, it's not going to hurt me, we think. So in that pre-contemplation stage, you, you're not yet ready. You're not yet considering change. That is not what you're thinking about. You might actually be unaware that you need to change any behavior. So you're like, I got this, I'm good. Maybe it's just something wrong with me. I'm the one that's not trying hard enough, right? This stage is often characterized by resistance and a lack of motivation, meaning people will fight you when you suggest to them there's a different way and that different way might be better. You might resist. We might resist. In fact, the brain tends to resist new information. I talked about that last week, a couple weeks ago. Cognitive dissonance. Yeah, you're coming to me with new information. It doesn't fit with what I already know. So there's an automatic, for many of us, resistance. Some of us resist harder than others. Some of us become so stubborn. I mean, we do not care if we go down, we're dying with our boots on. Yeah? And at that stage, there's not much motivation to do anything different. Yeah? To move past pre contemplation, you need to become aware of the benefits of change and the drawbacks of your current behavior. You have to understand why what you're doing right now is costing you. And you have to be willing to explore the potential benefits of what you have not yet tried. So, what does that mean you've got to do? Type in the chat one word you think describes what you need to do when it comes to creating success in that first stage. It's about gathering information. Gathering information, doing your research. And another piece of that is reflecting, playing back, feedback you have received from other people. People who drink too much alcohol, and people who drink too much alcohol are people who, when they drink alcohol, they have negative consequences in their life. Yeah? So it's not that drinking alcohol is a bad thing. It becomes a bad thing or a problem if your spouse is saying they don't like it when you drink, your kids don't like it, they're fussing at you, so it's causing relationship problems, it's causing work problems because you're going to work late or you're missing work. Many people don't realize they're drinking too much until somebody around them suggests, hey, have you ever thought of cutting back? Have you ever thought of cutting back on the amount of alcohol you're drinking? Why? We don't see ourselves. So we need people in our environment to be our mirrors, to give us feedback. Yeah? There's a little assessment measure we give people called the cage. And the first question I might ask you is, has anybody in your life ever asked you to cut back? Cut back on the alcohol that you're drinking. And the A is, did you feel irritated and angry with them? So there's the resistance, like, what do you mean? And then G might be, hey, some people will feel guilty, yeah, when they still end up going to drink. But anyway, I'll talk to you about the cage another day. But I just wanted to give you an example of how that might show up in your life when it comes to changing a behavior with the goal, long-term goal of achieving high and big success. If you're okay with just run of the mill, I'm just getting up and I'm all right, I go to work and I come back. If that's all you need, that's fine. If you're looking to create big success, you need to implement big changes. Yeah, if you're looking to tackle problems that are causing you pain, you need to be willing to look at what is happening. So, pre-contemplation, somebody more than likely brings to your awareness, or you maybe have a little flash of insight into, oh my God, I just got arrested again with a DUI. What's going on? Why am I doing this? Yeah. Stage 2 is contemplation, where you begin to acknowledge your need for change. So Thea, as a jumper, man, maybe he's got a point. Maybe I could do better if I did something different, if I made some change. During this contemplation stage, we recognize the need for change and we begin to consider it seriously. You start weighing the pros and cons. You see me doing this? I'm doing this because another strategy we use is a pros and cons list or a costs and benefits list where you list, you just brainstorm it. You're not judging it, you're just putting on anything that comes to mind when it comes to the pros of continuing that behavior and the cons, the negatives of continuing that behavior. That's it. Okay? Now think about it. Even after you make that list, you might still feel ambivalent about it. You might still feel like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Or you might be switching and moving your pros to your cons and your cons to your pros because you're like, you're still trying to make it work because remember, the brain doesn't like to change much. So we're trying to keep the old behaviors going somehow, although we're telling ourselves we want to change. Yeah, we want to succeed, we want to succeed. This stage of contemplation can last for a long time. There's no time frame on that. Yeah, because we're grappling with our fears, with our uncertainties, our anxieties. Yeah, we're not sure. Is it going to be worth it? Okay, so it's crucial. It's crucial if you're going to take the next step to seek support, guidance. Ask people you trust and care about. Ask them to tell you more. What do you mean you think I'm drinking too much? What are you basing that on? Why do you think I would do better if I didn't drink so much? Or you might go to a therapist or a counselor or your pastor, start there, right? Your medical doctor, you might be thinking about losing weight. You go get some other feedback from a source that you trust. Stage 3 is now, okay, preparation. In this stage, you're planning and you're going a little step further. Yeah, tipa, tipa. Tipa is a Creole phrase for little steps, little steps, little steps. Planning and commitment. Those are two different things. Planning is, hey, I'm writing this stuff down. I'm thinking about it. Yeah. I'm considering how I might do it. I'm setting realistic objectives, realistic, realistic results I'm hoping to achieve. I'm considering potential obstacles. What might get in my way? Do I have enough money to go to a therapist? Is there another way? Is there a book maybe that I can read? Planning. How will I accomplish this change that I'm looking for? Maybe you're building your confidence, like I use a lot of Dominican references because that's what's encoded in my system. When we were little, Dominica is an island, of course, so we lived on the beach. We lived on the beach. But sometimes the water would be a little cold because it hadn't warmed up yet. And we would do this. We'd make the sign of the cross and do this and just do, ah! Our parents would say, take one heart. Take one heart and get under the water. Yeah. So you're building your confidence with things like this and talking to yourself. Yeah. And talking to other people. You're gathering your tools for success. You're gathering your tools. It helps if your plan is smart and detailed. Smart meaning specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time focused. I have an end date. I have a time when I know I've completed this change. I've accomplished the thing I set out to accomplish. All right? Commitment is an internal mental decision. It's a decision. So I'm planning, but I am now making a commitment, a decision. And once I get this, stage 4 is making the change. Making the change, doing what it takes. Doing what it takes. No, Thea has got to switch the legs. and become like a baby again. Become like a new jumper again. Yeah. Many people who drink because they drink for socializing with other people. A lot of people will tell me, well, when I drink, I feel better, I feel more comfortable, I feel more confident. So now, if you're going to cut back on your drinking, now you've got to practice being around people and with people raw. Yeah, raw. And so that comes with anxiety, that comes with self doubt. Hmm? It's like baby steps again. Teepa, teepa, teepa. This stage right here requires a high level of commitment and effort. You got to do the work and you got to be willing to adapt because there will be challenges and there will be setbacks. I didn't say there might, I said there will. So you have to know that already. So, what helps you in that stage? Keeping track of your progress, keeping track, writing things down so you start seeing patterns. What's working, what's not? When do I do it? When do I not do it? Hmm? Celebrating small victories, giving yourself a pat on the back, giving yourself tiny rewards when you really did it. Okay? Those little things can help you maintain your motivation. And it's also important to stay connected to your support systems, perhaps the same people who identified the problem, staying connected to them, maybe creating new buddy systems. What's a buddy system? A buddy system is a group of us decide we're going to work out together. Yeah, so we're going to wake up together at 5 and go to the gym together. That's a support system. That's a buddy system. So when one of us doesn't feel like waking up, everybody's getting calls though, and then that might pull us or push us to do the new behavior. That helps to reinforce new habits and new behaviors. Okay? Stage 5, after you've been putting in the work, yeah, doing it. After you've been putting in the work, doing it, doing it, doing it. I want to encourage you to do it starting off for at least 21 days, because a lot of people like the idea of 21 days. The research shows that it's about 21 to about 240 something days within that span of time. That's a big range. Yeah, we tend to change our behavior if we've been going at it persistently. But in there, the sweet spot is about 66 days. It's about 66 days. That's about 2 months of doing the same behavior, the same new behavior. And that behavior can be anything. That change you're trying to accomplish can be anything. It could be something as simple and as challenging as changing your negative thoughts, changing nasty words you say to yourself. Okay? So now you come to a stage called maintenance because you've crested, you've hit that 21 days, 66 days. Yeah. In AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous, they give them chips. They give them a little, like a coin to say, hey, you did that. You're doing that. You're maintaining your sobriety for 30 days, 60 days, 100 days. Okay? Maintenance includes and involves sustaining the new behavior over the long haul, over the long term. And it's going to focus on preventing relapse. In that stage, you want to look for your weak points. What are my triggers? I mean, what sets me off? What makes me feel weak? What makes me vulnerable to that old behavior that I was trying to correct? Yeah? So what do you have to do? You got to stay vigilant. You got to stay vigilant. You got to stay vigilant. Like I said, you got to recognize your triggers that take you back to the old behavior. I'm going to give you a little key. Many of our triggers are rooted in our emotions. Many of our triggers are rooted in our emotions. I feel a particular emotion. For you, it might be anxiety. For somebody else, it might be I feel helpless or I feel tired. I feel bored. I hear bored a lot. I hear helpless. I feel abandoned. I feel alone. I feel lonely. Yeah. And I go back to the old behavior. Often it's going to be when you're feeling some kind of stress. Okay. You might be feeling overwhelmed or uncomfortable. And if you have an old habit of going to, say, a bad behavior when you feel overwhelmed, you have to work double, triple hard to stay aware, to stay vigilant, okay? Because you must then apply coping strategies when those uncomfortable feelings show up. You have to have your coping strategies set up. And y'all, I know some of these things are not tangible when it comes to coping strategies. Like your coping strategy might be prayer, your coping strategy might be talking to somebody, your coping strategy might be taking a walk around the lake. Yeah. But I'm going to encourage you to write these things down. Write them down. Write them down until you become so good at the new behavior that it's now a part of you and it's your default. Okay? You want to regularly review and assess your progress. How am I really doing? Okay, I was feeling so anxious last year, right about this time. This is me talking to myself. Some of you know I'm on the tail end of a grief recovery process that was brutal. Last year at this time, I was feeling so much anxiety in my body. Okay, so I can and I have a responsibility and a task to keep assessing my body, checking in with my body to see how are you feeling. Are you feeling like yourself? You feeling good? You feeling yeah. So the strategies you've been employing, are they working? Yes. No. Is there something you need to add? Subtract? Yeah. That's how we maintain progress over the long haul. Big progress, because the opposite is we just keep falling down the hole. We don't do as well as we're supposed to. When that happens, we go to thinking negative thoughts about ourselves, triggers negative emotions, triggers negative behaviors. We want to stop that pattern, interrupt the cycle. Go back and review the reasons you wanted to change in the first place. Why did I really want to change? Why did I want to feel less anxiety in my body? Number one, I don't like the feeling. Number two, it stops me from doing things I really want to do. Yeah. And so it's stealing my joy. Yeah. So you come back to your reasons for change. That way you can maintain ongoing commitment to yourself. I'm really asking you to focus on yourself tonight. Okay? Step six. Step six is relapse. Does that make sense? That relapse is a part of the change process? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we are human beings. And if you have never used your left hand or your left leg, like her coach was asking Thea, it's like you're like a baby. So your brain is going to want to revert to the old thing. Okay? And every now and then it's going to. Like I said, especially when you're under stress. If you're not yet strong in your coping strategies to neutralize it, you might go back, okay, to the old way. So we want to look at relapse not as failure, and I know that's hard, especially if you're the loved one of a family member who's drinking too much, and you see them relapse, although they've been going to AA for a year, 2 years, 10 years. Yeah, that's very overwhelming for relatives and friends and people who care about a person. You might be the person. Yeah, but relapse is part of change. We want to try to reframe it as, instead of failure, to see it as a part of the change process. Why? Relapse is an opportunity for you to feel more pain. Yeah, and some of us need more pain. Yeah, some of us need more pain to grow, to learn and to grow. When we relapse, we return to our earlier stages. So we start again. In AA, you start earning your days again where you can get your chip. Okay? So we return back. Usually, we don't go to pre contemplation. Usually, yeah? Because, we already know, hey, we've been made aware that change is good, change is necessary. It just might be feeling overwhelming and very hard to do. So usually we will go back to contemplation or preparation and we reassess our goals and our strategies. Yeah. We focus on what led to our setbacks. I'm telling you now, ding, 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 ding. Very often it's connected to your emotions. So you want to focus on what emotions show up in your body right before you do something you said you don't want to do anymore. Okay? Dig there and learn how to manage that emotion, that precursor emotion. Push your coping skills there, yeah? So that you can feel that emotion in your body more efficiently so that you don't do something you don't want to do. Okay? That's going to strengthen your confidence, strengthen your resilience, and increase the likelihood of long term success. Long term success. So I'm going to take a few of your comments first, and then I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you five. I'm going to give you five strategies perhaps you haven't thought about. Five strategies perhaps you haven't thought about, okay? That I want you to apply to your life to create change. All right? Naya, happy Thursday. C is my sister. Happy Thursday. Yes. Pre-contemplation. Contemplation. Pre-contemplation is man, you're not even thinking about that. Very often we're blind to our problems. We're blind to why we're doing some of the bad things or unhelpful things or unsuccessful things we're doing. Then we come to contemplation because maybe somebody brought it to our awareness. Or we were praying, we were in a moment of quiet, or we were in the middle of jail because we just got another, like I said, ticket or a DUI, or we got into another fight with someone, and we're like, oh, what is going on? I need to do something different. Yeah. Then we come to contemplation. All right. Well, how will I do this? I don't know what to do. You're asking for help. Okay? You're reaching around, you're reaching out, you're doing your research. Preparation, no. It's not just I want to change or telling your person, you better change. It's not just like that, it happens. Because we've got to go to preparation. We have to build ourselves up. We have to do that. And then take the one heart. Yeah? Then we take the one heart and we take the dive, we take the leap into the new behavior. For many people, if you've never done the thing, it's just so overwhelming. Yeah? And then you do it, you do it, you do it. As you're doing it, you stay committed to the process. Over time, 21 days is a great place to start, but the research is showing 66 days. Do that thing for at least 66 days. And then keep coasting in a maintenance stage, but you're a human being, and a new stress you never thought about might show up 1 year from now, and you revert right back, you relapse. Don't give up. Don't stay down there in the dirt. Get up again and go through the process again of contemplation. How am I going to do this time? Yeah, what am I going to add so that if this happens again, I'll be ready. Yeah, and moving through preparation, get yourself ready, take the action, and maintain. C's, research is critical. Research is critical. You don't want to do things by guess. You don't want to just do things, Dominica phrase, vai que vai, or else you will just keep hitting problems that you don't need to be hitting. If you do your research and you see how other people have done it, you read books, you go to a therapist, yeah, you go to somebody who knows or somebody who's done it before, you can avoid so many problems, right? You can get to where you want to get so much faster. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to spend your entire life fighting with one problem. We were meant to overcome our problems. Problems are teachers. They're opportunities to learn and grow. So if I have a problem, it's a beautiful assignment for me to attack that problem and to solve it. It's my life. I get to do that. Yeah. And that comes also with introspection. Man, sit with yourself. Sit with yourself and assess. One of the tools I'm going to offer here, record things so you see where you are, where you've been, and where you want to go. Do that work. Do that work. Do that work for yourself first. And let me tell you, when we change, people around us change. They must. It's a law. Okay? Darling, how are you, my dear? Says, so inspiring. Bless you. You are very welcome. Besides, you love the look. I look so fresh. Thank you, my dear. Thank you very much. She says her new look is stunning. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Darlene says, I did not realize you knew these patois expressions. Absolutely. Kotesh Monsorti. Yes, I know these patois expressions. Kendra says, very interesting. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you for listening, my girl. Ricardo says, hey, Doc. Hey, Ricardo Sakafet. And John, hello there. I hope you are well, John. So, y'all, so let's talk about 5 strategies to improve a bad situation. Five things perhaps you didn't think about, you've never thought about, to improve a bad situation, to change a bad situation. Remember, who does change start with? Who does change always start with? If any situation in your life is going to change, who has to change first? I do. I do, and it could be a situation with my child, my spouse, my work. I need to change first. Number 1 of these 5 tips that people rarely think about and rarely put in the work to actually do to get these successful results. 5, I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 is journaling and something sees, or Darylin said, called introspection. Journaling, and we call it self-reflection. Journaling. I mean, have you ever thought about keeping a journal? Do you keep a journal? How many of you keep a journal? Keeping a journal is a game changer, y'all. It's a game changer. Why? What does a journal do that makes it such an important tool? And the research shows that if you're keeping a journal, y'all, for losing weight, for sleeping better, for relating better, anything, your results are going to go up. Because what a journal does, what journaling does, is it gives you a little record. It helps you to track your progress. When you're tracking your progress, you're going to start seeing patterns. You're going to start seeing what I was asking you to pay attention to, which is the precursor feeling before you do something you don't want to do. That's messing with your success. Or that's messing with your happiness. Okay, your joy, your promotion at work. Writing about these ups and these downs, they're going to help you clear up your thoughts. You take it out from up here. Thoughts are like energy. Some thoughts are like trash. Yes or no? Some thoughts are like trash. So you got to dump that energy somewhere else. Dump it out of your brain, your mind. Pour it out. Change where the energy is. Change the dark thoughts. Take them out. Throw out the trash on your paper or on your notes section of your phone. It's like a little reminder that keeps pushing you forward. Even when things get tough, you always have something, someone to talk to. You might not have a therapist at your beck and call, but you have your journal. So you can process your feelings. You can just pour it out. Write it down. Okay? So, in addition, writing a journal boosts our self awareness. We learn ourselves better. We learn ourselves better. We learn ourselves better. And if you want to be better with people around you, you want to know yourself. You want to know what makes you feel good and what doesn't. Because that way you can educate people around you and your experience in life is going to get better because you will have the words and the skills and the coping strategies to transfer that information to them. Yes? 4. Number 4 is called an accountability partner. I mentioned it earlier. Many people do a lot better with the exercise. I know I do, and I did. So there was one stretch of time where I worked out practically every day. And there was this group of us who did this boot camp in a parking lot of a supermarket. And we were supposed to be there at 5 a.m. in the morning. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, y'all, somebody would call me and we would run, drive to the parking lot to the boot camp. And I have never been so ripped, y'all. I've never been so ripped. I have never been so ripped. Okay, because we held each other accountable. We went to the running track together. We would call each other and say, "Did you see this snack right here? Eat dried apples instead of chips." Yeah, accountability partners will help you. So I talk about Thea. I've been talking about Thea Lafont. Who is the person who serves as one of her biggest accountability partners? Her husband, who tells her, "Hey, let me see you try. Let's try jumping off your other leg and let's see how you do." Hmm? During the Olympics, what did he say to her right before she won the gold? He told her, "Hey, girl, in about 20 minutes, the weather's going to change. There's going to be a downpour. It's not going to work in your favor. Go for something big." Accountability partners, they help us excel. Something else that accountability, holding ourselves accountable by telling other people we're doing something big is, hey, yo, they remind us when we're malkaway, when we're off track. They remind us. Okay? They're also cheering us on. They're also cheering us on. So, an accountability partner, your friend, your girlfriend, your spouse, your kid could be that for you. Again, I'm asking you to focus on yourself tonight. We want to change ourselves first so we can do better for our kids and our spouses and our workplaces, and our businesses. All right? Knowing that somebody else is invested in your success is a big deal. It's really such a big deal. Okay, it's a very big positive. So if you're on a mission to change a bad situation, I'm inviting you to get an accountability partner. Somebody's going to hold your feet to the fire. Somebody's also going to cheer you on and encourage you. Let's suppose you're in a really painful relationship and that's the situation you're trying to change. Well, make your intention known to somebody you trust, to an accountability partner. Yes, because you need support. We all need social support. Social support is one of the main reasons we live long. Okay, social support. It's a big factor in longevity. Having other people we can depend on. Okay? They really go to bat for us and they help us to do our best. Right? They help us take care of our health. Yeah? Do better in life. It extends our life. 5, 4, 3. 3 is called micro progressions. If you think you know the phrase for that in Creole, in Patois, Darrell, somebody else, tell me what you think. How might you say that in Creole? Micro progressions. I'm not going to say it to you yet. Instead of setting huge, big, intimidating goals, try breaking it down into smaller, tinier, manageable segments, manageable steps. Break it down. Break it down. Yeah? I want to stop drinking alcohol to the point where I'm inebriated every week. Break that down. Break it down. So, I want to stop drinking. Well, I want to stop drinking for at least a month. Or I want to stop drinking at least this week. Break it down into smaller goals. Because next week you can say, next week, I won't drink this week. Instead of saying, I'm not drinking for the rest of my life, say, I'm going to pause on the drinking for 1 week. And at the end of 1 week, start again. Break it down into small steps. If you're looking to start a new exercise routine, start with yoga, 5 minutes of stretching. Start with just 5 minutes of stretching. And if in case your body is like, okay, let's do some more, do some more. Don't start on day one like how they do at a certain exercise gym that I won't tell you about. But I'll tell you that many times when you go to that gym, you start in your new membership after Christmas, you gain an extra little 10 pounds. You go, you talk to the little coach. After you buy your membership, you know what they do? They tell you, well, let's do a physical assessment to see where you are. They wear your little butt out. They wear you out. And many people don't return. Many people will not return because their bodies are sore and aching from that first workout. No, no, no. What you want to do is to start small. Start small, okay? Do your best with a little bit so that you can build your confidence. Do your best with a little bit so you can build your confidence. If your situation is, I'm in a painful relationship, I need to leave, this is physically abusive, small steps. Perhaps you go talk to a counselor. Perhaps instead of saying, I'm going to leave right away and you have no money, perhaps you strategize and you plan with an accountability partner, with a support partner. Yeah, perhaps you work an extra shift to save up more money. That's what that is. Micro progressions. In Creole, you might say tipa, 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 small steps. Break down, cut it up, cut up the big goal into little pieces. Number 2 is called environmental design. All that means is set up your environment to support your progress. If you're trying to lose weight, well, actually, remove trying. If your plan is to lose weight, your house cannot be full of chips or KFC. It really ought not to be filled with fried chicken if you say you want to lose 10 pounds. What instead you want to put in your environment are your sneakers right next to your bed. So that as soon as you wake up, you can put it on and you can maybe go jogging or walking. Your fridge, your refrigerator, stocked up with nice fruit that you enjoy, food you like, but that's also good for you. That's easy to reach. Instead of Skittles and instead of what you call it, candy, you have fruit in a fruit basket that's within easy reach for when you get the word my sister says peckish. Yeah, if you get a little that you want to nibble on something. So it's about making it super easy in your environment for you to do the thing you believe is the right thing. All right, now, finally, number one. Number one, I'm not sure how many people I will speak to tonight have access to this, but number one is the perfect tool for me, the most perfect tool I have learned so far as a therapist in over 30 years. This tool to help you to do well is the most efficient tool I've learned. It's called hypnotherapy. It's perfect for mastering new skills. Hypnotherapy uses visualization. Visualization is seeing it in your mind. It uses meditation, relaxation. It also uses mental rehearsal. Like mental rehearsal is basically you're practicing in a state of calm and quiet in your mind the new behavior. As you watch the Olympics, I want you to look at how many athletes have their little rituals that they do. You might see them talking to themselves. Simone Biles, the gymnast, she said that before she went out on many of her days, she talks to her therapist. Okay? So hypnotherapy is a way for us to quiet the mind and to move from our conscious mind. The conscious mind is this part of the mind that's just focused on what's happening right now. We need to get quieter to a state of relaxation and calm. And in that space, it becomes easier to identify some of these emotions that are triggering these behaviors we continue to do that we don't want to do anymore. We get to release them, we get to reset them, we get to make new decisions, we get to reprogram our minds. Y'all, in an hour. In an hour. In an hour. Okay? You get to change and reset. Okay? So, that's what I got for you tonight. Okay, that's what I got for you tonight. All right. Gilda says, good night to me too. Mr. Kojak, good night. Glennis keeps a journal. Okay? Sorry, y'all. Petra says good night to me. Hello, Veli. Yes, y'all. Change is constant. What you want to do is figure out what is causing the change. And how can I get in there and effect change myself to get the result I'm looking for? To get the results I'm looking for. So it's not just by guess. It didn't just happen. Okay? I know why it happened. All right? So I hope you share this live tonight to the people who listen to you, because maybe somebody will get one piece of information that will support their change and their progress and their success tonight. Okay? Nicole, my friend, says, good evening, Doc. You have provoked introspection. I invite you to give yourself the time. You're worthy of it, and you're worthy of the results that come. Okay? You're worthy of the results that come from it, from change. I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to repeat the little story. Thea used to jump off a different leg. Thea Lafont, our Olympic medalist. And she says when she met her husband, who's her coach now, he suggested, why don't you try leading off the other leg instead? And from the time she was a teenager, she had jumped off of her preferred leg. And so she said, okay, I am going to try it. But she's got to go through pre contemplation, which is she has no idea that she could even consider jumping off the other leg. And she's got to start again like a baby to learn how to become strong and confident jumping off a different leg. And then we go to contemplation. Yeah, when now we are thinking about it, well, maybe, what if I try it? I mean, he is a coach after all. Maybe he knows something I don't know. Yeah, maybe, all right, let me do it. And then preparation. Well, if I'm going to do it, you better teach me how to do it. You better be there for me. All right, all right, all right, I'll commit. I'll do it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And then she makes the change. Hmm? And you see her results keep getting better as the years go by. Yes, yes, yes. And then, she takes the action, makes the change to know she can maintain and sustain the change enough to win an Olympic gold medal. Now, according to this model, there is a chance for relapse. And I'm telling you, when we are feeling stressed, when we're feeling overburdened, we might go towards the relapse. But if you've done this, if you do a new behavior, or at least 21 days to start, but really about 66 days, you've created a change, you've created a new behavior. And so you have to just keep maintaining. All right? All right. So Veli says we've been taught to hide our diseases and our weaknesses. Yes. And to say we're okay. We've been taught to do that. We've been taught to pretend, oh, I got it. I got everything together. But how can you have everything together if you're a human being? The thing you used to fix your problems last week, they're not working this week, next year. So we have to keep evolving and being willing to change and adjust. And we have to be willing to trust people we love who are looking at us from the outside, who are suggesting maybe you should try it this way. Have you considered doing it that way? Okay? And to pull back on our resistance to change, to pull back on, oh, I can do it, or why are you telling me what to do? To pull back and to investigate, do our research and a little introspection. All right? Thank you all very much, very, very much. Finally, Veli says true change is constant, and we need the mental tools. You need the coping. You need the skills, because Thea was jumping. She was doing well, but you need more skills. You need technique to help you. That's where coping strategies come in. You need therapists. Every Olympian has a coach in these games. They are at the top of their game and they have a coach. Who are you to think you're going to succeed at that level without somebody to support you? Okay? Think about it. Think about it. All right, y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy Therapy Thursday. Change is possible. It's necessary. It's going to happen. It is constant. I just want you to be more proactive about how you change. Okay? I wish you the best. Tipa, tipa, tipa. Small steps. Happy Thursday. Peace. Nous allons parler à l'autre fois.